Hi, this is Mike Omar from www.makemoneyfromhomelionsclub.com. Today's lesson, I'm going to teach you how to monetize your website with Google Adsense. The specifics we're going to go over is how to apply for your Google Adsense account, where are the best places on a website to get the highest click-through rate from your AdSense units, and I'm going to teach you some simple ways to protect your AdSense account from getting banned, because that does happen to people from time to time because they don't know the rules. And I will also show you how to install tracking on your website with Google Analytics. So let's begin. Alright, so in the last video I showed you how to make, the last video we made this website. This is a fully SEO optimized website. Now the next step is to put Google AdSense on here and to start making money off of this website. So the first thing you need to do is you need to apply for a Google AdSense account. Google AdSense. Here we go. If you don't have Google AdSense, which you probably don't, where you want to go is right here. Sign up now. And here you could list that very first website that you made. You just need to have at least one website. So go ahead and put that in. Select English. Check these two off. Account type, you'll put an individual, country, whatever country you're from. Basically, you need to fill out all this information. Nothing out of the ordinary. Let's see. Check this off. I would check this off because I do enjoy their newsletters. It has really interesting things in them. And with this business, you want to keep learning. You want to be evolving with the business. So I would absolutely recommend getting the newsletter. How did you find out about Google AdSense? I mean, you could do whatever you want. This is just for their statistics. If you learned through this video series, I guess you could put friend or colleague. Doesn't matter. It's for their statistics, so it doesn't matter. Click on all these things, submit information, and pretty soon, I'm not sure how soon after. It might be a day, it might be 10 minutes, but soon after, you will get approved. Okay, so once you've been approved for your Google AdSense account, go back to Google AdSense. Let's go right here. I'm already logged into my Gmail account, which means I'm automatically logged into my Google AdSense account. So that's why it just pulled up my earnings immediately. But basically, this screen is one you'll become very familiar with. It tracks how much you've earned today, yesterday, this month so far, last month, the last payment, unpaid earnings so far, and it has a bunch of different metrics that you can use. And you'll eventually be learning more and more about how this all works just by studying the page. You'll be very excited to check your earnings on a daily basis once you start making money, and you'll start to see where the earnings are coming from, what websites are earning the most, what websites have the most valuable clicks, what websites have the highest click-through rate, etc. So just to give you a quick rundown, this is not important for what we're doing today, and you will eventually learn this just through doing it over and over, but basically this is how many page views, this is over the last month, by the way, how many page views there were total of all my websites, how many clicks I received on all my websites. The click-through rate means 4.15% of people clicked on ads, 4.15% of visitors clicked on ads. Cost per click on average was 42 cents. Page RPM, that means how much I've earned per 1,000 visitors, and the estimated earnings for the month. So this is obviously very exciting. You wake up in the morning and every day you have more money. So that's the goal here, but that's not why I'm here. We're here to get ads. So go to My Ads, and then you go to New Ad Unit. All right, so we're gonna create a new ad unit for this website, obviously, the one that we made earlier, the Concrete and Cement Home Guide. And this is where the ads are gonna show up. This is how we're gonna set up the website. And to give you a little bit of an idea of how Google operates, they don't want their websites to be overly spammy. They want their ads to be well placed, but they don't you they are very against web owners who try and trick people into clicking on their ads, because while you want people to click on your ads so you make money, Google wants people to click on their ads, and they want the clickers who click on those ads to convert for whatever reason that those people are going to the other website. So you don't want a website that has ad placement that's very aggressive. You want a happy medium. A website that's still presentable and still looks nice and is not an eyesore for the reader, but at the same time does receive clicks. So the best setup to do that, basically the best setup to look like a good, solid website that's not spammy, that Google will like, is to have on the home page, just have one skyscraper ad right here. It'll take up this entire section. And then on each individual post, let's just go to one for example, we'll have the same skyscraper ad over here, and then we'll have two more ad units. One that will be on the top right of the post, and one that will be at the very bottom. As you get to know this business better and better, you'll find that different people recommend different ad placements. Some ad placements have a higher click-through rate than others. There's all different kinds of things that you'll learn. But basically the one that I'm showing you is safe. If a Google employee sees your site and sees this ad placement, he's not gonna necessarily penalize you for having too aggressive an ad placement. But it's also an ad placement that gets you a really good click-through rate. So that's the one I'm gonna recommend. Let's go back here. Name, I like to name it the name of the site and then the size that I pick. So, Concrete and Cement Home Guide. Concrete and Cement Home Guide. What size? The two sizes that I was talking about were the skyscraper unit and the large rectangle. For this example, we're just going to pick the large rectangle. Press it here. Ad type, you can get text and image, text only, or image only. Text ads only are the ones that usually convert the best, so I always pick them. Feel free, when you're doing this, part of the game is experimenting. You might, we'll go over how testing works later, but generally speaking, I'm just going to show you the ones that are tried and true. And in this case, and basically in all cases, or in most cases, text ads are the best ones, are the most effective ads. So we're going to pick text ads. That can be left blank, that's all fine. The color palette. This ad right here that's displayed here is basically what your ad unit will look like when it's on the website. So here, you want your ad unit to match your website. Go over here. This website is blue links, white background. So the default Google palette is actually already correct. You have a blue link, white background, and the text. I don't like the way the green looks, so I changed it to all black. Because this one's already all black. That's how I knew it was all zeros. But it's not that important. You can leave it how you want. If, for example, we had a website here where the background was red, and maybe you wanted the links to match it, you just go back here, click on the button, and make them red. And now your links would be red. Or if, say, you had a website where this part was all black, this background was all black, and you wanted it to match, just go here, press background, and make it black. And that's what it would look like. But let's go back to the default setting. If I remember correctly, it was 1, 2, 3, 4. FF is the default blue. Yep. And background is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. White. So that's the one we'll pick for now. I happen to know these colors because I've been doing this for a long time, but over time you just start to pick up on things. I've learned some of the colors, what the HTML code is for them. But this is the one you want, assuming you picked a website theme that has a white background with blue links, which is most of them. But if you didn't, just match up the colors, just so it looks nice, And then we will save it. Alright, so you could have pressed save and get code and it would take you straight to the code, but just so you would know where to go when you come back, go back to my ads, and then instead of putting new ad unit, it's going to have all the ads you've ever made, go to the one that you just titled. In our case, it's this one, Concrete and Cement Home Guide, and then press Get Code. So when I got the code, I copied it, and I pasted it here right in Notepad. Basically, all I did was replace my publisher ID with all these X's. But this is what the Google AdSense code looks like. You don't have to understand how it works or why it looks like that, but this is what it looks like. This, when you put it into a website, is gonna read your site and put up related advertisements based on the content you have on there, which is great because, for example, here we have an article about marble flooring. This code here, this will read the website, read what it's about, see that it's about marble flooring and other related keywords that you've put in there, and then it's going to put advertisements right here about marble flooring and other things that are related to that. And because those ads are related, someone who's looking for information on that, if they land on your site, they're more likely to click on one of those ads. And if they do, then you will get paid. As in, that company will pay Google, and then Google will pay you a portion of that. That's the whole idea behind everything we do. Okay, so we have the code. How do we get it on the website? Well, go to the back end. I'm already logged in, so it takes me straight here. We're going to use one more plugin to insert this code. That way, you don't have to go. You could install this code without the plugin, but it would require you going into Appearance and into Editor, and that's where all the back-end code is. And if you want to avoid that, there is a great plugin you can use that will do it for you. Those Who Sees Ads. Oh. Is that how it is? Let's just put Who Sees Ads. There it is. O's Who Sees Ads. Install now. Are you sure you want to install this plugin? Put OK. And activate the plugin. So, where are the settings? But usually the plugins are under settings, but sometimes they have it makes their own tab. It just depends. But this time it's under the settings. So we'll go to Who Sees Ads. And basically how this works is, well, the whole point behind this plugin is so that only certain people can see your ads and other people can't. And the reason for that is Google is very, very against people clicking on ads when they're not just actual readers, actual people who happen to find your content and then, saw the ad, saw that it was useful or something relevant to them, and then clicked on it. That's the ideal for Google. That it's a random visitor sees the ads and clicks on it, and then ideally for the person who owns the ad, that lead becomes a sale or whatever the idea behind the campaign is. So, this is a little unrelated to what we're doing now, but it's actually important to know. You don't want to ever click on your own ads, or you don't want any of your friends to ever click on your ads, because if Google suspects that there's foul play, as in you're clicking on your own ads because you know you're getting paid, they might ban your entire account. And it doesn't mean that, your online career is over, or you can still apply for another account and get another account. It would be kind of a pain to do, and you might have to apply under a different name and everything, but basically you don't want to get your AdSense account banned, because a lot of the money you make online, at least at first, at least in the testing stage, will be through Google AdSense. So that's the idea behind this ad. This plugin. This plugin is so that only certain users will see your ad. But they take it a little extreme. Like, they have all these different functions where if a visitor comes from a search engine, then display. If he's a regular reader, then you could put not display. If the post is older, you can have all these different functions. But for our purposes, we're just using it to install the code. You don't need any of this other stuff. I have them always displayed. I just don't click on my own ads, and it's been fine. If you're extra paranoid, you may not want to show your websites to your friends or anything in case they click on the ads. You just don't want Google to ever become suspicious that you're trying to make money from them and it's not actual readers who are clicking on the ads. So keep that in mind, because you don't want to get your AdSense account banned. But back to the original reason we're here, how this plugin works. So name of the context. There's two right here. Let's make a new context. This one we're gonna name top post, right? We're gonna have it display for all of them. So basically the default name is fine. Active rules we don't need. Ad code. We come here, we copy this. This is obviously being the one that you got from your AdSense account. Paste it in. And there's one more thing we need to do before we save it. Right now, with this code where it is, it's gonna go to the website. Hold on, I'll show you. If we were to save it as is right now, and we were on a post, it's gonna put the ad right here because the default placing of whatever code you put in is the top left. We actually want this to go on the top right. So what you need to do is add just a little bit more code so that it goes to the right, and I'm gonna show you how to do that right now. The reason I'm gonna do it this way, like I know the code to make the ads go on the right. It's basically you have to add a div to it, but I'm gonna show you how I would find it if I didn't know how to do this. Because remember, when you're doing this sort of thing and when you're experimenting with your websites, there's gonna be a lot of times when you don't quite know how to do something, and instead of being frozen in your tracks, use Google to your advantage. You can find anything you want on Google, and you could probably find it on the first page you click on. So I'm gonna do just that. Right now, if I put the ad in, it would just show up on the top left, and this entire article would be pushed down. I want it to be on the top right, and I want the text to wrap around it. So let's go over here, go to Google, and we will put how to place AdSense on right of WordPress. Let's see. Float on the right or left of WordPress post. Let's try this one. I think this will have the code that we need. Let's see. This one does, but it actually makes it more complicated. Hold on. Here we go. This is what we want. We want it to be a div. So display block left margin. These are the margins, but basically this is the code you want to do. Copy this. Go back over here. Paste it. Except right now it says left. Click on here and put right. And then go back over here and close the div. Copy this. Put it on the bottom. Paste. And save the context. Select display rules. Whoops. What did I forget to do? I think you need to drag one down. I think that'll do it. Alright, perfect. It's saved. So, this one is called top post, and this is the code you would put into a post for it to display. There's also a PHP one, but that's if you're going to go in the back end, and we're not going to do that. This is the one that's important. And actually, you don't even need to know that, because when you go to the post, you'll see that there's an option to insert that code directly into it, and you'll see what I mean in a minute. But first, let's create the bottom post. So, new context, bottom of the post. So now we are setting up the add. Wait, let me open it in a new window. So before, we added the code so that instead of being up here, it would float to the right over here. And that's why we added that div. The next add that we want it directly under the post, and it can be on the left side. So we don't need to add a div at all because that's a default. So let's go back here. We call it bottom post. All we need to do here is drag this down. The reason none of these matter is because every single setting is on display. Oh, except for this one, but that's fine. We can leave it as a default. None of that stuff really matters. Active rule is fine. Go back here, copy this again, paste it, and you're done. So now you have a top post and a bottom post. So this is what you do. Let's go to posts over here. Let's just go to the very first post. You're eventually going to do this with all of them. So this is one of our articles that this is one of the ones we already set up in the previous lesson. It's already optimized. There's just one last thing we need to do. As you can see, now that there's that plugin there, there's one more little button here that wasn't there before, the Who Sees Ad button. So go here, put down and put top post. So now that code that we inserted in when we created the top post button in the ad is the one that's going to be inserted right here. And make sure you're in HTML when you do this because this is code. When you put it visual, you'll see that it doesn't even appear, and the button here isn't there anyway. Go back to HTML, put this on the top post, and this will put the ad over here on the right hand side. Then go to the bottom, down here, and put bottom post. These both have the same exact AdSense code on them. It's the same block, it's the same size, it's the same color. The only difference between the two is that this one has a div that makes it go to the right, whereas this one doesn't have any div at all, so it just stays on the left side. If we wanted them both to be on the right side, or if we wanted them both to be over here, as in they were both the same code, we could just go ahead and put this top post on the bottom. It wouldn't make a difference. So now I press update. Okay, so I pressed update, and if you go back to the post, the reason the post isn't showing up is because I didn't use my actual AdSense ID, so the code is wrong. But if I had, there would be a picture here, and there would be a picture in the bottom here, or not a picture, but of an ad unit. And actually, I'm gonna go in and add just a picture of an ad unit, so when you guys visit this site, you guys will see exactly what it needs to look like. But before I do that, I'm gonna show you the last place you wanna put your ad code, and that is gonna be one rectangular one right here. So what we need to do is go back to my Google Ads account and set up that last ad. Alright, so here we are back at the Google AdSense page, home, my ads, click here, new ad unit. Same thing as last time. Concrete and cement home guide. Concrete and cement home guide. Except this time, we're gonna pick the wide skyscraper. That's the one we want. Text ads only. This is all fine, this is all fine, this is all fine. I just like to make this black so it all looks uniform and clean. And save. So here we have the code saved. Once again, for the sake of the example, I'm just going to use this. This is what the code would look like, except because you made a new one, it's going to be slightly different than the last one you made because it's going to display a different size. So copy it and let's go back to the website. Okay, so let's go here to appearance and widgets. Right now the way it's set up, it's search, recent posts, and categories. If you go here, search, recent posts, and categories. Now we're going to add one more widget. A text widget is pretty cool. Basically, you add in whatever you want. You know, you can make it a welcome to our website. Press save. You go back here and reload it. See, welcome to our website. But we're not going to use it for that. We're going to put ads by Google. And the reason I make the title ads by Google is because we want it to be as clear as possible that we're not trying to trick anyone into clicking the ads. If we put something like, you know, recommended links, or, you know, click below for great deals, this would be considered a breach of Google's AdSense contract with you. You're encouraging people to click on the links. That's not what they want. Google only wants people to click on the links if they see them and they're automatically drawn, or they're naturally drawn to them, not because you told them to. So to play it safe, and that's how I always recommend you do it, just put ads by Google. Make it very clear that those are advertisements. They're not a part of your website. Right click, paste, press save. Oh, give it a minute. Once that stops turning, that means it's saved, and then when you go back to the site, it'll show the ads. So that is how you set up, that is where you put the different AdSense codes that you have on the back end of the website, and then it will look like this. Oh, give it a second. See here, on the top right, there's one Google AdSense block on the top right of the text. On the sidebar, there's one skyscraper ad. And at the very bottom of the post, there's one more ad on the bottom left. That is how every post should look like. So let's go to a random post over here. Just pick this one. By the way, these ones that I'm showing you are not the actual ads that Google would be displaying. These are images. I used images for the example, but when you do it, it'll be the actual ad. So be sure not to click on them. Another example. If someone lands on this post, say you rank #1 for fiber cement, and they land here, they're going to find all this useful information on fiber cement, one ad block here, another one here, and another one at the very bottom. That's the way it should look. And because I know it can be a little confusing, I actually wrote out how it's supposed to be on this WordPad document. So when you go to the Oz Who Sees Ads plugin, top post, you just punch in the AdSense code of a display size 336 by 228, and then put this code directly above it and the closed div tab directly below it, and that'll be the top post in that plugin. When you go and do the bottom post, you just paste the AdSense code right in for the exact same one you used here, the 336 by 228. And then for the sidebar AdSense code, you make the text widget, title it Ads from Google, and just paste in the AdSense code for the one that's 160 by 600. And this exact code right here will be in the notes that every video I have has some notes along with it to help clarify or explain certain things, or just write certain things down. This code right here will be in the notes. So right now, this website is basically ready to go in terms of the Google AdSense being on there. So if people land on this website, and some of them will land here. I mean, if people land on this website, some of them will click on the ads, and when they do, you will start to get paid. Now there's just one last thing we need to do to complete this website, and basically at that point, you won't have to look at it again until you decide to add more posts. At this point, it's totally done. There's just one more thing we need to do, and that's to add tracking. So I'm going to show you how to do that right now. Okay, so the way we're going to measure the traffic and collect statistics and start to analyze how our website performs is actually using Google Analytics. Google Analytics is a fantastic piece of software that you basically install a little bit of code on your website, and it starts to track where your traffic is coming from, what pages are most popular, where people are spending the most pages, where people are clicking ads, all kinds of very, very useful information that will start to, you'll basically use that information to start to determine what direction you want to take your website. So what you would do, go to Google and type in Google Analytics into Google, and usually you would click here, but I've already logged in. And what you would do is you would go to Analytics setting, press it, go all the way to the bottom. It's going to put Add New Website. Well, this is for people who already have a profile. If you don't have a profile, you have to sign up for them. But it's very easy to do once you have AdSense. So go make yourself a profile and then get yourself to set up a new website where you'll be taken here. Put the URL of the site you would want to track. Which would be this right here. Copy it. Oh, put it right here. Although it already has HTTP, United States, and you would press finish. Okay, so when you press save, the next screen is going to show you the code, and then you just copy it and paste it into Notepad or wherever. And this is kind of what it looks like. Basically, I just replaced my publisher ID with these X's, but this is more or less what the code will look like. So take this, copy the whole thing, and this is where you need to paste it. This is the only part where you really have to deal with just a little bit of code, but it's not hard. I'm going to show you exactly how to do it. Go to Appearance, go to Editor. Like I mentioned earlier, this does look scary, and there is a lot of code, and there's definitely things that, you know, if you've never studied HTML or anything more advanced than that, it can be pretty scary. But honestly, it's not that bad. You don't really have to touch around back here very often, but it is in your best interest to study it just a little bit and kind of get an idea for how it works. And over time, you're going to start to get it naturally anyway, either. So with this code, we go to Header. This is how a header is designed, but basically we're just gonna put Control-Find \head. This one here is just a description of what the closing head tag is, and this one is actually the one that we're looking for. There's only two, but basically this code you want to insert before the closing head tag of the header. So just put it in here, paste it, you have it right there, and update file. Give it a second. And you're done. File edited successfully. That means that basically, well, you have to eventually go back to Google Analytics to make sure that it registers. You can just click around your site a few times, go back to Google Analytics, and see that it registered some numbers of some visitors. But at this point, you're basically done. So this website is complete. You have every page optimized. You have your ads on every single page, but it's not overly spamish. And now you have tracking. So anytime anyone clicks anywhere, you know what website they came from, what pages they visited, and what page they used to exit your site, if any. Alright, thanks for watching, guys. Be sure to leave any comments or questions and I'll answer them for you. And if you'd like, you can add me on Google Circles or on LinkedIn. You can do that by just typing in your browser makemoneyfromhomelionsclub.com/Google or makemoneyfromhomelionsclub.com/LinkedIn. Alright, see you at the next video.